Hello, my crafty friends. If you're watching the replay, I'm glad you are. Um, I did another live stream. I can't remember exactly when it was when we first started working on this and playing with it. And we're going to play with it some more today. Today, we're going to actually turn those pigments into paint and paint with it a little bit. Have no idea how it's going to turn out. I'm not looking for a great piece of art. I'm just looking to have fun experimenting. So, hi, Carol. I'm glad you're here. So, this is what I'm going to play with today. Hi, April. Thanks for coming. I don't know if I remember seeing you in my live stream before, but I'm glad you're here. Hey, Barb. It's been a while. So good to see you. Hi, Sharon. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're all here. We're going to wait just a minute, let some more people get in before we start. Um, Hi, Brittany. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Janet. Y'all are making my day. I'm glad you're all here. Hi, Letitia. It's good to see you. We're going to play with this a little bit and see if we can paint on some stone. I meant to grab a couple of rocks just for fun. Let me go do that real quick while people are coming in. I'll be right back. Okay, I grabbed a couple of things out of the backyard that maybe we can play on a little bit uh, and we'll see how it goes. Hi, Journey. Hi, Riri. Hi, Sherry. I'm so glad y'all are all here. Whew. Anyway, I got this is a piece of old sidewalk. And then this is just a rock that Hannah picked up at the river, I think. I can't remember for sure. She was going to paint on it, but she hasn't. But she can paint over this if she wants to. So I thought this would give us a couple of different kinds of things to paint on while we're just playing around to see if this works. And then we will choose a medium to mix our pigments in for our great cave painting, which probably will just be a mess. But anyway, we're just here to have fun. We're not here to make a museum piece. So I'm not going to fret over it. Oh, okay, Letitia. Thanks for coming in. Well, I was getting artwork out of a book, that big art book that was in the video I did last night. Um, this was in that book, and I thought, oh, there's cave painting, so I pulled it out. So maybe it would give me some inspiration. So we will see. Sherry's buried in snow. Goodness gracious. Well, we're having a beautiful day today. It's sunshiny and 62 right now here, and the wind is not blowing really bad. It's just a breeze. So that's wonderful. I was even able to leave my coconut oil outside and let it start to melt some. So on the sunny porch, it was evidently higher than 76 degrees because that's the melting point of coconut oil. So um, anyway, I'm going to use this as my inspiration, um, or at least to give me some ideas when I'm painting my masterpiece. And this is, if you haven't seen the last live stream where I did part one, this is what I used as my mortar and pestle. And this is the stone that they gave us to do our art piece on. And then these are the 4 different kinds of pigments they gave us. And this is charcoal. And these 3 are supposed to be, let's see, let me find what they say they are. Pigment stone. Um, and they say you can use clay, which comes in many colors: white, gray, yellow, red, and brown. And I thought that's what this was, but when I started grinding it up, all of these smelled like talcum powder to me. So I don't know if they made these, made them up and then broke them up and put in here so they would be easier to use than real stones, or what it was that they did, but they did all smell like talcum powder to me when I was grinding them up. So I'm going to let you know that this may not be authentic stone. Anyhow, we're going to play with it anyway. So, hi, Barbara. Hi, Gertie. Hi, Teresa. Thank you, Janet. I tell you, Janet, you're the best. Thank you so much. Oh, I got to go back and see how much snow Barb had. I just saw Journey saying she couldn't imagine that much snow. Over a foot of snow. Wow. I would have loved to have had that much snow. We got one snow with about 6 inches and one with about 8. The 6-inch one was so dry we got practically no water out of it whatsoever. The 8-inch one was pretty wet, so we actually got an inch in our rain gauge. It dissolved, the snow that was in there dissolved to about an inch of water. So so I'm assuming that we got at least an inch in moisture out of that, but that's the only moisture that we have had in like the last 6 months. So we would take more snow if it would give us some more moisture, but I can't say that for sure. I want to say we're beyond snow, but we're not necessarily beyond snow. We have had snow in May before, but it's rare. It's rare to get snow later than this. And if we do, it usually doesn't last because it warms up the next day. Um, anyway, I'm glad you're all here, and we're gonna play with this. These are the pigments that I ground up last time: the charcoal, and then the 3 colors of clay, talcum powder, whatever, whatever we're gonna call it. And that's what we're gonna play with today. I'm gonna leave. Oh, and these are our instruments: our paintbrush that has some kind of animal hair bristles, and a scraper, and a pointy stick. So those are going to be our instruments that we're going to make our painting with. But hi, Barbara. Most of the highways within 200 kilometers were closed for 12 hours. I bet a foot of snow is a lot of snow. Okay, and so I'm going to move this, get it out of the way, and we're going to play with these. I hope that I don't end up with that falling on the floor. Okay. Oh, I don't really need this, I don't think either. So stick it back in that box. Um okay. Now, Jamie gave me a recipe: vinegar, egg yolk, and water. And I didn't bring any vinegar or water out here. I do have water in here to put my, to rinse off my stuff with, but um, I'm going to read again what they say how to make the paints. Let's see. Liquids containing animal fat such as milk, cream, and egg yolk or vegetable oil make more permanent paints. Egg tempera paint is a classical painting medium still used by modern painters, which is pigment mixed with egg yolk. Okay. We did try to do this with water last time, and we did not get a good result at all. So we are not going to bother with water today. We're just going to use these other things. Hi, Miss Allie Kay. Good to see you. I am playing with this. So we're going to see if we can mix up some paints. Um, last time last time I was live, we ground. Well, not the last time, because Monday night I was live with Hannah and we did inking. But the last time I was live by myself, which would be in last Monday, I guess, um, we ground these up. And so we're going to make paints today, and we're going to play on some stones, and then maybe we'll go ahead and try and see if we can do an actual painting. Um, anyway, they don't talk about adding anything else to the egg yolk, and since I don't have it here, I'm just going to be lazy and not add the other stuff. But Jamie said it's better to add some vinegar and some water to it. Now Hannah thought, she knows that sometimes watercolor paints are made with honey, so she told me to try honey as well. So we're going to try honey and egg yolk and coconut oil because it's the closest thing I have to a it's a saturated fat like animal fats would be saturated fats, but I don't have it, other than bacon grease. I don't have anything that's that's animal fat. So we're going to use this in place of our animal fat, and then we're going to use egg yolks and honey. Now I got some spoons and forks because I don't know, it may take both of these to mix this up. I'm not sure. And I've just got these little plastic lids so I can just throw them away. But anyway, we're going to see what we can do. So Allie's without power. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry, Allie. That's not fun. Okay. Um, I'm trying to think. Probably I could use this to mix the paint, actually, because they wouldn't have had forks and spoons. I am going to dip my my mediums out with a spoon. But I guess I'll try to mix the paint with this because we're trying to be semi-authentic. Oh, luckily it's 2 p.m., so we have lots of natural light. That's true, Allie. That does help. That does help. Okay. Now, let's see what we've got the most of. I'm curious how these things will interact with the white, but I don't have as much white. So I've got the most of this. So we're going to start with this. And I don't know how much pigment you need compared to your, the medium you're using. So I'm just going to put some in there, and we're going to see if we can turn it into paint. And whichever one we decide we like the best, then we will do all of them in that one. And that's what we'll use on our painting. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more oil so that this will be a little bit more liquidy. Okay, let's use this for our sample stone. And let's just scrape a little bit of this on. It's just soaking right into that cement. So this may not be a good choice. All right, well, let's try it with this one too. Yeah, that, um, okay, once it dries over here, though, it looks better. Actually looks better on the camera than it does in person. You can actually see the stone through it in person, but on the camera, it doesn't look like you can. Okay, we're going to put that one aside. Let me rinse this off a little bit. I remember one of the power outages we had that lasted the longest time happened because a squirrel got in the transformer. Um, it didn't have anything to do with weather. So who knows what it is. Okay, let's move those aside. And then we're going to do, well, I guess we probably ought to do all of them with the same color so we can test the difference between them. That's probably what we should do. Okay. I'm thinking as I'm going here, y'all. Sorry. Okay, now we're going to play with egg yolk. I don't know. Maybe I didn't grind these up enough. It does change the color to use egg yolk. I thought it probably would. Can you see the difference in the color? It's pretty pronounced. And I don't know if it's just the color of the egg yolk. I think it probably is, but it might be that I didn't have as much pigment um, in here as well. I don't know. We're gonna put some over here and we're gonna see what we got. Well, this just scrapes right up. Let's try it over here. Now both of these are lighter than the one, that came in the kit, the stone that came in the kit to paint on. Thank you, Janet. Okay, so here's This is the one with coconut oil. This is the one with egg yolk. My prediction is this one's going to be shinier. Um, but I could be totally wrong. I'm just saying that because it's egg yolk. We'll see. Okay, let's put that one up there. And let's clean this off. I'm glad I didn't buy this kit when my kids were young to play with because I think they would have been disappointed. And I think they would have been disappointed because it's not easy to use. Of course, I'm using it with this, but so now let's try some honey. Just for kicks. They would have had honey available, so well, not everywhere, but any place that had bees. Okay, this one's sticky, and I guess that should not be a surprise. The color, though, is more like the color of the coconut oil paint than the egg paint. And I'm wondering how the white would react to the egg yolk. I can't imagine that being a white paint. But okay, let's bring these back over here. Oops. And let's see what we get from this. Ooh, that's nice to work with. I think just purely based on how easy it is to use, this one would probably be my favorite. At least on here, it worked really well. It's okay. Coconut oil, egg yolk, honey. So we'll let this sit and dry a little bit. But the honey definitely was easier to paint with and made them more opaque. And it's probably just because it's thicker. But anyway, I'm going to clean this up a little bit. We always have a honeybee festival in August. Oh, cool. Well, we need to keep people aware of how important honeybees are. I think all our pesticides are killing off the honeybees, and that's bad. Okay. One thing I've noticed is this here with the coconut oil. It looks dry. I don't know if it really is. Yeah, see, it's turned in it. It's kind of like fudge icing. I don't know if you could still use it because technically it's, it's oil, so it's not going to dry out. I don't know. Let's play again, see if we can get it to do something. Yeah, no, you just, if you use it like this, it will go in there, but you're basically pressing it into the rock rather than painting it on. That's interesting. See, I said we could turn this into dessert. Yeah. Uh, yep, yep. And so let's see if we can come back now, because it might make a difference when you're painting. You want something that's not going to dry out immediately that you can come back to and use, and when you're ready for some more. So let's see what the egg does. It has stayed wet. That's one of the things they said, that the egg yolk would stay wet longer than the water. So your painting doesn't dry as fast, but it also makes it more usable. You can come back later and use it. And you can do this one, but it's not painting like with a brush. And then this one, of course, it hasn't set nearly as long, but it's still very wet on here too. The stone does suck some of the moisture out, and so where the plastic doesn't. And so I think that makes things dry on here a little bit better too. But the honey is not drying at all so far. And I don't know if it will. So we need to test that, I guess, before we decide. Because looking at this, I would rather paint with the honey mixture than these other two. Well, the other two are probably a little bit more accurate to the time, but let's get out um, our fake wind here and see if we can dry some of this a little bit. I don't know if it will or not. But I will say, of course, my kids used regular paintbrushes because we were testing out mediums. We were not testing out ancient tools. And and they liked the paint. I'm trying to think. Um, I'm thinking they liked the paint with the egg yolk the best. But I'm not positive about that because it's been, oh goodness, it's been, see, Ethan was like 7 and he's fixing to be 23. So it's been like 16 years, 15 or 16 years. Hannah barely even remembers doing it because she did everything at an age 3 years younger than Ethan did, because we did all this stuff together when we were homeschooling, these kinds of projects. They used pterodactyl eggs. You remember it well, huh? I was reading, I can't remember, I'm trying to remember. I guess it was, I think it was in a Reader's Digest magazine. My mom gets those and she always sends them to me. Um, this lady said she felt old when her 9-year-old grandson said, "Wow, it must be really great to be able to remember what it was like to be alive in the 90s." I was like, "Yeah, like that was so long ago." And Hannah said, "Well, Mom, it was 30 years ago." I was like, "Okay, I get it." But it wasn't the olden days. Oh. Anyway, she heard me laugh and she said, ask what I was laughing about. So I read it to her and she was like, that's not unreasonable. When you're 9, anything 30 years ago feels like it was forever ago. And she was probably younger than that when she asked me to tell her stories of the olden days. And I asked her if she meant stories like, when Granny Woody was young, who is my grandmother, or when Grandma Mullins was young, which was her grandmother. And she said, "No, Mom, I'm talking about when you were a little girl." I was like, that wasn't the olden days. No, now I can laugh. At the time, I didn't think it was funny. No, I did actually. I did. Like if you remember what you did an hour ago. Yeah. Okay, well, this is not drying at all. It did help the egg dry some. And the oil isn't really dry. It's just like soaking in. The egg dried though. And the honey is just still just like it was. It's not drying at all. Um, so I think based upon that, maybe our best plan is to use the egg, even though it was harder to paint with. Hi, Melody. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. I don't remember seeing you in chat before, but I'm very glad you're here today to watch me make a mess. That's pretty much what I'm doing today. So I think we're gonna use the egg yolk. Um, Definitely not the honey because it may never dry. It may never dry. Um, and this is the paintbrush we've got. And there's not like a whole lot of bristles. So I don't know how well this will even work. But our stuff is pretty much dried out except for the honey. So we're going to dispose of that. And the egg yolk, I am curious about what the egg yolk will do with the white, though. Okay, well, I'm glad you got to be here live. And thank you for watching my replays. Might be easier if you add a small amount of water to the egg. Yeah, I'm thinking that's a good idea. I may even go in and get the vinegar um, to add to it. Just a tad of vinegar since that's what Jamie had told me to do. So let me just do that. Let me go get a little vinegar. I'm just going to go put a little bit in here and a little bit of water and then we'll see if that makes it better. Because that was, last time that's what Jamie said that she had read to add to it was vinegar and water. So let me go add a little vinegar and I'll be right back. I used to keep some out here, but I don't have any right now. So be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, wait, there is some. I thought I used to keep some out here. You never know what you're going to find out here. At least I think there's vinegar in this. I might have reused this bottle with water, but I don't think so. Let me see. Oh, goodness. Open up. Well, it smells very vinegary, but I don't think it smells vinegary enough, so it may just be water. I'm going to go get the other one that I know is vinegar. Okay, be right back. Try it again. Stay there. Okay. Well, the vinegar in the house smelled pretty much the same as the vinegar I had out here. I didn't know how much to put in it, so I just put a little bit. But one thing about this egg yolk was really a dark egg yolk. The vinegar lightened it up a little bit. Um, I thought about buying some cheap eggs because cheap eggs are a paler color yellow yolk, and they wouldn't, mess up our. Um, I might ought to do. I might ought to do one color at a time, just what I'm going to paint, instead of doing them all. That's probably a good idea. Since it does dry, and I don't know how fast it will dry. A little bit of sugar and some ketchup, and we got ourselves a barbecue sauce. There you go. We're not going to make barbecue sauce. Hey, Dana, good to see you. Glad you're here. But this did make this, more consistent liquid. So I think it might make it easier to use, even if there is some goopy egg right on here, though. Okay. Let me get rid of that part that's icky. I'll put my elbow in it if I don't. And that would not be happy. Okay. I'm going to move these, take them back outside, because I think we're just going to go ahead and play on the real thing at this point. I don't have a place to set them in here, so I'm going to take them back outside. Okay. Now then, I'm going to get out my big stone. Okay. Here's my big stone. So, make a masterpiece here. No, I told you we weren't making a masterpiece. Don't have too big expectations. Don't have too high expectations. Okay. Well, it looks like what they've done is put an animal in the back and then put more animals in front and in front. In this painting. And their biggest animal in the back was a big white bull. So maybe we will do that. We'll just put a big white bull in the background because it'll be easier. And I have no idea how let's see, set that right there so y'all can see it. Don't expect mine to turn out looking like that, because I have a feeling this person was a better artist than me. But we're going to start with white. And if we're doing a big bull, and you can see basically it's just the head and like the body just kind of fades out behind these animals. So it's only obvious here. So I'm only going to do that much of the white paint with the egg, because if it turns out where it's not white at all, we might want to try it with something else instead. We will see. It will be paler than the other ones, so I guess it doesn't really matter if it's, if it's not really white. It doesn't like to mix up either. I'm mixing with the pointy edge. No wonder it's not working. I could at least use the straight edge. That might might work better. I was going to say I'm going to change instruments and use a modern instrument, because I've already proven I actually can mix pigment with. But that's not very white, is it? Looks egg yolk colored. I'm painting on whatever this is. It I don't know if it's slate. It looks kind of like it, but I don't know if that's for sure what it is. It doesn't say, it just calls it a stone. So I'm not sure what it is. But it was in the kit as the thing you're supposed to paint on, so. It's my cave. Don't you know a cave when you see one? Hey, Beth. I'm glad you're here. Okay. Well, it did lighten it some. I think I'm going to add a little bit more pigment to it, and we're going to see. But I may have to make my white with something else, because that's definitely not white. And this is white. So there's, they must have mixed it with something else. I'll mix it with the coconut oil, since I don't have any animal fat, if I don't like this. Or we may use this just as another color. Okay, I'm not really excited by that. So let's do another one with the white and the coconut oil. And that's probably what we're going to end up using. We will see. My coconut oil, though, got cool in here Once it gets below 76 degrees, it starts to harden up. I don't know. And I think since we've proven we can do that, we're going to do this just for expediency. Well, that doesn't look white either, does it? Huh. Okay. Put a little brown and make a light brown. Well, we've got the light brown. Well, I guess that's not really brown, but I really wanted to do some white, but neither one of these are coming up with a white. So we're just gonna see if we can paint with this. I don't know if we can even paint with this because it's too thick. Okay, that's just not working out very well, is it? Yeah, I bet they did. I bet they had the same problems. And they messed around with it till they kind of overcame that, probably. But okay, I think we're going to put some of this in here, and then we're going to add some of that to it, and just let it be our background color. I think my head is too big compared to my thing, so we're just going to go with it anyway. Okay, so we got some weird stuff here. All right, let's try the egg. Let's try the egg yolk stuff. You know what? I'm learning from this mostly. I'm grateful for modern day paints. I'm glad I don't have to do this anytime I want to paint something. I'm also glad I don't have to use this and paint something as big as this would have been on the wall of a cave. Can you imagine how big that would have been on the wall of a cave to try to paint? Maybe they mixed their oil and their egg together. Are we making baby food? Oh, goodness. We'd probably be better off if we tried to make baby food than. I just realized that this has a kind of a big hump back here. We're going to just let him disappear off this over here. Whoops. I sure am glad I wasn't planning on hanging this up somewhere. Oh, dear. Okay, now I'm going to put something in front of him here, so I'm not going to do any more there um, with these two. Now, the one thing I just realized we did not play with um, when we were practicing up was the charcoal. And I don't know, we didn't even try it. Well, we didn't try any of the other colors. We just did the red, didn't we? Okay. Never mind. Hi, Melissa. I'm glad you're here. Okay, okay, I think that's probably as clean as that brush is going to get. Um, okay, but I do want to have dark outline like the horns and, this outline of the creature here. So I'm going to mix up some black and we're going to see what happens. Okay. Now, I don't know how much of this it takes to make a black paint. I don't know how well it's going to work. I know nothing. But we're going to see if we can get it to work. Um, the black definitely overcomes the egg very easily. So this makes me think about the ink that Hannah's trying to make with soot and how um, that recipe might be right when it says you only need half a teaspoon to make a whole bunch, but this definitely didn't grind as smooth as this other stuff did either. Okay. Let's see what we can do with this. Ooh, this works really well. No wonder they did most stuff in black. Let's go ahead and make this one thicker too. Wow, the black works really well. Well, a real mortar and pestle would work better. What I was using was a little version of this and a rock as my mortar and pestle. But that's what came in the kit, and I was trying to use the stuff that came in the kit. So, um, the black actually works like paint. Um, even if it did, if even if it ground up less finely than all the others. Okay, we've got an eye right there, and then there's some spots all over this critter. Okay, let me go ahead and add some more. Okay, well there's our bull. I'm kind of just wanting to keep on working with this black because I like it. And I'm a little scared to try the horse. But I think I'm going to outline the horse with the black and then fill it in with the brown. Okay. Let's put an ear here. Okay, I'm making it. Let's go ahead and turn that into a leg because his body was getting too fat here. Okay. I'm sure they used their hands. I'm sure they did. Yeah, I'm sure they used their hands some. Yeah. Okay. Now there are some other little critters that are running down here too, and I don't know what they are. Um, we're gonna give him a mane there with the black cowpox. Hmm. Thanks, Janet. Okay, so let's see. Actually, let's make his legs a little bit, you know, actually have some. Let's do that up here too, because those are puny little legs. Now they're probably too thick, but we're gonna say he's a muscular horse. Okay, I think that looks better. That looks better. Thanks, Melissa. All right. Do I want anything else? We got some ground down here. Let's go ahead and use this to kind of make our ground. Oh dear. I'm going to mute for a second, y'all. Sorry. Okay, sorry. That was Hannah, and she's not feeling well, so I'm going to have to go get her. So, our our painting may not get much better than this. I'm going to do a little of the brown. She said I could wait a few minutes and do a little bit more. So I'm going to do that. We'll fill in the horse and finish the foreground here, and then I'm gonna go get her. And let's just make him go on off. And let's go ahead and fill in some here while I'm finger painting. So in this caveman's mind, that bull is huge compared to the horse. That's the way we're playing this one. I hope she does too. She didn't feel really well yesterday, and she was worrying about going in today, but she wanted to go ahead and go in because there are things she has to do on Thursday, and she was able to get those things done. And so now she needs to come home. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm obviously in too big of a hurry here. Okay, get rid of that. We'll paint some brown. And we didn't even use, the tan color, but I'm not going to worry about it. Like I said, this wasn't ever expected to be a magnificent work of art, so it was just to play. I appreciate y'all coming and watching me play with this messy stuff. And I'm sorry I have to get off early, but that's, you know, part of life. So, okay, get my brush back out, and somewhere I have a something. Oh, well, just use this. Okay. Talk about getting back on your face. That's true. That's true. I'm sure she'll be okay. She said she wasn't, she's not like throwing up or anything like that. She just feels really crummy, and the getting feeling crummy was getting worse, and so she wasn't feeling like trying to fake it. Okay, let's give it some. I'm gonna make his face lighter so we can put an eye in there and it'll be more visible. Okay, and let's get some of this to make an eye. There we go. Let's work a little bit on his mane. Okay, I really was not wanting to make lines in it. I was wanting to add some more paint. So, all right, let's see if we can put a little bit of a mouth on this horse. Not great, but Okay, that's our cave painting. Oh, I hope y'all had fun. I had fun. It actually turned out better than I expected it to. Um, if I had more time, I would have painted around behind him and everything, but I'm not going to. This is it. There's not going to be a part three. It was fun. Um, but personally, if you want to paint on a cave, I would say get your acrylic paints out. that's that's my take home from here. But I had fun, and we'll see if it ever dries. We'll find out. God bless you all. Have a great day. Thanks for coming. Love you. Bye bye.